Oh shit. Hey, hey, hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I would like to welcome our many listeners to another episode of Another Picture Show podcast. My name is Madalyne.
I'm Olivia.
We are the only two people who do this thing, and we watch movies together. I never know what it is. Olivia tells me, and we watch it.
Yep. Basically, I am the boss, and I tell her what movie to watch.
The only time I love being bossed around.
Yeah. Most of the time, she's never seen it, and I have seen it, and then we talk about it and give our hot takes and big thoughts.
Still need the t-shirts, man.
I know.
We'll get there.
In progress. We just,
Hashtag merch?
We'll make it happen. Yeah.
We're the only two that buy it. Like,
it's fine. We'll watch it or we'll make them and people will be like, oh, what's that? It's like my podcast. You should go buy merch.
Damn right.
I feel like the past few weeks have been kind of more serious movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this week we'd have a little bit more fun and I would give you a little treat.
Yay! Treat me.
You have 100% seen this movie.
Oh, yay. I can't wait.
I'm just giving us a little break. I feel like we need a movie to like just let loose and have fun with.
Okay.
And so this week we are going to watch Mamma Mia.
Yes! Yes!
I think she's excited, everyone.
Yes! Yay! I fucking love Mamma Mia. Everybody can suck my dick who doesn't like it.
It's a fun movie. I have also seen it. I don't know what else to say in this part other than
I don't think we should say anything else because I just won't stop talking about it.
Yeah, she's gonna go off when we get back from
I'm gonna go crazy.
All right.
Wait, can I reference Mamma Mia Here We Go Again when we talk about it?
Should we just do both?
Why the fuck not? Why would we dare exclude more ABBA Mamma Mia content from our lives?
All right, impromptu. We're doing a double feature, Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again. Yes.
I'm the boss this time.
I'm gonna let you. Okay, so Madalyne 100% has more knowledge about Mamma Mia and the movies. So I'm gonna let you kind of like run the show.
Okay. Ooh, this is all impromptu. Like,
yeah, this is all impromptu. I didn't think about this.
This is
usually
like
I like
content.
Usually I like to have all the power, but I'm gonna give you the reins this time.
I will do all the research. I will do, like, we're going to get an ABBA history. We're going to get a history of how Mamma Mia came to be. We're going to get a history of, like, fucking Meryl Streep's entire life. Then we're going to get the actual film, because Mamma Mia was a musical first. Oh, shit. We're going crazy. We're going balls to the motherfucking wall. Good thing it's a long weekend, y'all, because I got some movies and I got some Mamma Mia research to do. Who has a full-time job? Not me. I'm watching Mamma Mia.
Well, I'm excited now. Little lifting the pressure off of me this time. I'm gonna let you take the reins and this is gonna be good. So
yay!
Let's not waste any more time. Let's go watch Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia 2. Here we go again. And we'll be back with our review in 3, 2, 1.
We're back. We watched a thrilling double feature of Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia Here We Go Again. Do not call it Mamma Mia 2. I will come for you. It's Mamma Mia Here We Go Again. It's not Mamma Mia 2 Here We Go Again. It's Mamma Mia Here We Go Again. It's a play on words, y'all. Thank you.
All right, so the intensity that she's setting up here is what we're in for the rest of this episode, I guess.
Get motherfucking ready. I realize I swear a lot when we record. The more passionate I get about a subject. So just know that your children should not be listening to this.
I feel like I
unless
do the
you
same
want them
thing.
to swear, then do what you want. I'm not a parent. I don't give a shit. All right. So I'm the captain now. So I get to do all of the little fast facts. So I'm gonna start just with Mamma Mia.
Okay.
And then I can do the fast facts for Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again later on when we get to that point.
Sounds
all right.
good.
So Mamma Mia is a 2008 musical comedy or a rom-com, like whatever you want to go with. It was directed by Phillida Lloyd. I love that name. Written by Katherine Johnson, starring Meryl Streep. Oh, it's a long list. Amanda Seyfried, Pierce Brosnan, Stellan Skarsgård, Colin Firth, Dame Julie Walters, Christine Baranski, and Dominic Cooper. Those are just like the main people. There's like a fuck ton more people in this movie, as we all know, because everybody watched both movies before coming back, as was the assignment. And it is the story of a bride-to-be trying to find her real father, told using the hit songs by the popular 70s group ABBA. So Olivia, what are your thoughts? Tell me everything you felt about watching Mamma Mia.
I feel like it's a wild, like, mixed bag of emotions.
I respect that. Go on.
It's a fun movie because it's just, if you come into it, you have a few glasses of wine, you can just jam out to ABBA and have a fun time watching these famous people that rock out and be silly on screen. I mean, you have fun watching it because they're having fun, making it. I think that's like part of the appeal. Otherwise, it's not a good movie. No.
And I will, as you are, since you were technically the first to admit it, I will be the second. It is not a good movie. It is.
There's the story in this movie does not matter. It's kind of just like you came here to listen to ABBA music. We will give you ABBA music, and we will force a plot in there somehow.
Like they were like, we gave you sexy people in a beautiful location singing ABBA. What more do you want? You want a good plot line? You're not gonna get it. We gave you 3 big asks, people. Yeah.
So
yes, you're overall, not wrong.
I can sum up my feelings on Mamma Mia as fun. I don't think I love it as much as you do. That's because fine. I feel like I have a hard time remembering a lot of what happens because it's just like I feel like there's a big section in the middle of Mamma Mia specifically where just random songs happen and I'm like, what does this have to do with anything going on?
And it's crazy because it was a whole stage musical, popular stage production. It wasn't like one of those random you go like Oklahoma's popular but you're like, yeah, fuck Oklahoma, you know what I mean? Like people rave, and it was one of the longest running shows on the West End for years. It premiered in 1999. So I'll give a little backstory on the actual musical. So obviously everybody knows ABBA. If you don't know ABBA, why are you listening? ABBA is still kind of exists. They don't really put out music anymore, but they were a really popular Swedish pop group from the 70s. Their big debut was they won the 1976, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't check my facts on that because I thought I had it committed to memory. 1976 Eurovision, and the song they performed was Waterloo. So that was their big break into global stardom. And so in 1983, this London producer, Judy Kramer, she came up with the idea after hearing or listening to The Winner Takes It All, one of their very popular songs. And she was like, oh wow, wouldn't it be great to have a theatrical performance of this song? Which I love ABBA, but at no point would I be like, I want a really dramatic performance of The Winner Takes It All.
Performance of this.
Yeah, stage. I want a whole story on a Greek island built around this one song. You know what I mean? So she brought the idea to the 2 men who were in ABBA, Benny and Bjorn. And the 2 women weren't really a big part of the musical, or the movie. They obviously were yes, whatever, do your thing. But Agneta and Anna Fried, very I don't know, very reserved. I think Anna Fried like contributed financially, but like Agneta, I believe is how you pronounce her name. She was like very elusive, very
just hands off.
Yeah, hands off, out of the limelight. I think she went to like the premiere in Stockholm. Like she really like since ABBA kind of like subsided, she definitely like retreated from like popularity as far or not popularity, I should say, as
the limelight.
The limelight, yes. So Benny and Bjorn were like, I don't know, like they weren't like super thrilled, like they weren't like, yes, let's fucking do it, but they also were like, if you come up with like a decent story, like why not? Because they're called like, I guess when you make a musical around like songs that already exist, like popular songs, like specifically like songs that are of a certain pop group or group in general, it's called a jukebox musical. I did not know that until
there's lots of them. They did one for like Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. It's Jersey Boys. They did, American Idiot, which our friend Denver was in at one point.
Yeah, he was.
There's a few.
Yeah.
But I think Mamma Mia is definitely like one of the more popular ones.
Right. Exactly. I think Rock of Ages is another one. We don't talk about.
Well, that's
how dare I mention Rock of Ages?
Is Rock of Ages? I don't think that's a jukebox. Well, I guess it kind of is, but it's not like one artist. That's like it's kind of pulling from a variety of different people.
Right. And I think that's why it's like loosely tied to being a jukebox musical.
We said we were going to talk about Rock of Ages, and then we continued to talk about Rock of Ages. Anyways, I'm sorry. Continue with
no worries.
History of.
Oh yeah. So then she hired Katherine Johnson, or like commissioned Katherine Johnson, who also wrote the script, like the story for the movie Mamma Mia. She wrote the book for the musical production, and then the rest was kind of history. It premiered in 1999. When it did, ABBA Gold, which is their like top hits, like compiled into one album, which was released in 1992, it reached the UK top charts again. So like, everybody fucking loves ABBA. If you say you don't love ABBA, you're wrong. Like, you're wrong. You don't know yourself. If you've never like danced to Dancing Queen at a wedding, like if you've never even just like been, if you never even just like bopped, like a little head bop, like in the chair watching like me and your grandma dance to Dancing Queen, like you're lying to yourself. Okay, just do a little self-reflection. Anyway, so considering it was this massively popular, like well-produced, well thought out, like backed by ABBA, or at least 50% of ABBA musical, and then we have 2008, and they're like, there's no really rhyme or reason. Judy Kramer, again, was just like, you know what, let's just make it into a movie. And everybody was like, fuck yeah. So Katherine Johnson then wrote the script for the musical, and they got Meryl Streep pretty early on. Like they cast her pretty early on.
Apparently, this is I watched a documentary about the making of Mamma Mia, like the stage show and the movie.
I
didn't write anything down.
So you watched a whole ass documentary? Okay.
Well, okay, I didn't write anything down, so this is probably one of the only things I remember. But like Meryl Streep was like a super fan of the musical.
Yes.
And she like wrote a letter to the people who made it, basically saying like, I love this so much, whatever. And so they thought of her first to like be in the musical or the movie when they decided to make it. They're like, she's famous actress and she likes the show. So,
she's like the reason half the cast was cast for Mamma Mia. Like she's the reason, unfortunately, Pierce Brosnan was cast. Pierce Brosnan was like the wrong choice, the wrongest choice you could have possibly made.
He could have been one of the dads, but like for the dad that has to sing the most.
Like if he had switched, I don't know what Stellan Skarsgård's singing, like full singing capabilities. He kind of like sings a little bit in Mamma Mia, and he does not sing at all in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. But if they had like switched places, I wonder if that would have been better, because SOS, the Pierce Brosnan's performance of SOS is the bane of my existence. Is the thorn in my ABBA loving side.
The close-ups on his face, it looks like he's about to like bust into like full-blown chuckles. Every time he's like SOS, it's like, oh.
But it's like he's holding back death. Like he's trying not to laugh. It's like he's either gonna laugh or die if he like breaks in this song. There's two forks in the road, and Pierce is fighting.
Like he's not fully committing. Like I feel like there's more that he could give us, but he's not. He's like holding it back, so it just looks like he's about to explode at all times. Yes. When he's singing.
Right. Like let those demons out, Pierce, unless they kill you. So whatever. But yes, they got Meryl pretty early on because, as you said, she's a super fan, and she had to like do this like 2-hour audition with Benny from it was in New York, and like Benny flew in on a private jet, and like they just sang all like the big songs from ABBA for like 2 hours, and Meryl was like, holy shit, like I could actually like lose this job if I don't do this well. Like they could actually kick me off production because like I mean, what Benny says goes, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was how the movie.
Without Meryl, like, there wouldn't have been a movie that we would be talking about today. I think. She's like the glue of the movie, keeping it all together. Because I mean, everyone else in the movie's fine. I think, like performance-wise, but I mean, we'll talk about what's his face? Colin Firth.
My main squeeze.
I would die for that man.
I would actually take a bullet for Colin Firth. I think I've said that before. I put that on record and I will do it again. My mind has not changed since the last time I said it.
I think that's another piece of perfect casting in this movie. Because he's not the best singer, but he also doesn't have to be. So
right. He's just like his charm and his loveliness just carries his like mediocre, if not slightly poor singing abilities to the end. You're just like, I put up with it because I love you, Colin Firth. Like, you are my sunshine. But yeah, so like, okay. So your thoughts on Amanda Seyfried. There's many different ways you can pronounce it.
I don't know how to say her name. I don't understand why people think she's a good singer. Hot take. I don't know if that's a hot take, but
I don't think she's bad. I don't think she's excellent either. She's very like middle of the road for me.
Yeah. I think I'm just like kind of annoyed because she seems to be kind of like Anna Kendrick in that she's cast in like every movie musical, even though her voice isn't that strong. Like she's fine. If she's singing, like, I think some of the songs in Mamma Mia works for her voice, but like Les Mis, no.
She's a very bird-like voice.
Yeah.
When she holds a note for too long, it's like the vibrato's like too aggressive, so she sounds like a bird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not a voice professional. That was years ago.
I don't know, but I also know that she and Anna Kendrick were like rumored to be cast in like the new Wicked movie, and that just like I cannot. So Amanda Seyfried, you look great in Mamma Mia. You know, you play the part of the like young, like bright-eyed,
fresh faced. Like she looks like she looked like she was raised on that island.
Yeah.
Like she fit into the scene and the story really well. But I agree, like her singing is just not that. I mean, you have to compare everyone to Meryl Streep. Like,
I mean, compared to Pierce Brosnan, she's fine.
Oh yeah, no, great. She's fighting. She's fighting a little bit against Colin Firth, but compared to Meryl, like Meryl just like comes in with a bazooka and blows them all out. But
also, like, I mean, we'll talk about this more, I guess, when we get into the story. But like, she's kind of the worst in Mamma Mia. It's like, why are you doing this? Why can't you just tell people what's up? And like, I don't know. She's like she has like 5 different conflicts going on. She's like, I want to find my dad, but like, don't tell my mom. And then she's like, Mom, I want to get married, and I want you to treat me like an adult, and I'm not gonna like tell you like, what I'm doing.
I know you really don't want to get married yet, but I really want to get married right now, so we're getting married. And this guy's
don't
like,
leave me, person that I'm planning to get married to tomorrow. Like, and then that never comes up again. Like, I don't understand, but whatever. We can move on to story because I guess we're already there.
Yeah, we're already like picking it apart. Okay, so we start with although I do want to one last thing about the musical compared to the movie. I just want to throw out there. So a couple differences, not big ones, because the story is very identical to the movie. But a couple things is just like some of the songs that they do in the musical, they didn't do in the movie. Some of them do make it to Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. Mm-hmm. So there's 5 songs that they didn't do. Thank You for the Music is done in the credits, but I don't count that. I don't count that as being part of the movie. The name of the game was supposed to be Sophie and Bill. I'm like, what the fuck are you two singing about regarding the name of the game? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm sure it was probably about like him possibly being her dad, whatever. That makes it to Here We Go Again. Mm-hmm. Under Attack, which is a very underrated ABBA song, like very underground. Sophie was supposed to sing that. One of Us, Donna was supposed to sing, which also makes it to Here We Go Again. And then Knowing Me, Knowing You was supposed to be Sam, which is like, I'm assuming it's for the same reasons that it's in Here We Go Again. They did it in the original Mamma Mia. Mm. But I just like that they cut out those amazing songs and they left it for the cast of Here We Go Again, because I think it fit in better in that movie. But we'll get to Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again later.
Yeah.
But last thing, promise, then we get to the story. Fun fact, Tom Hanks and his wife, Rita Wilson, were producers for Mamma Mia.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's why it's such a good time. Anyway, so we start with fucking Sophie. Forgot her name for a second. She's like sailing under the cover of darkness to the main island to like send out these invites to her wedding. And she's like, it's just like very corny. Like, I'm sorry. It was just like aggressive. Like, I love Mamma Mia, but like the first 2 minutes of the movie, I'm like, okay, like, can we get past this part where she's like, I have a dream or whatever. And she like shoves the fucking envelopes. And I'm like, shut up.
Dad? Question mark?
Papa? Dear Dad, I mean, Harry. I mean, I get it. It's a musical. It's like a story. It's like, we were saying this, my sister and I were saying this watching it. We were like, what if like they're dead? Like nobody's heard from any of these men in like 20 years, like on the island or whatever. What if Harry died? Like what if Sam moved? Like the addresses that she has, like.
Also, like, if you got an invitation from like an ex from 20 years ago to their child's wedding, like, would you go? Like, that also, doesn't make sense to me.
Would you be like, I had sex with her 21 years ago. And her child's 20.
You're like looking at your
and
calendar.
She's getting married.
Like you have like strings and like, stuff all over the wall, like the Always Sunny, like, I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah, like oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like maybe they didn't think about it because like, who knows? It has been 20 years, but if you're like, oh yeah, like I remember Donna, like let me go check that out. I'd be on the plane like, wait a damn minute. Like it'd probably take me a minute, but I'd be like on the yacht or like on the ferry out to like the island, be like, oh fuck, I
haven't heard from her in 21 years. She has a 20-year-old daughter.
This is
the first time I've heard from her.
Big expensive day coming up. I wonder why I'm hearing from her. No, that's terrible, but that would be honestly like my train of thought if I was one of the wealthy daddies. Because they're all rich. Like they're all very well off. Which I'm like, goals. To have 3 daddies who can pay for everything.
Like, what if like one of them was black? Like then you know like which one.
Oh my god. Oh.
Like which one is not the dad, but
that would have made the movie so much funnier. But it also would have been like, and then it would have been cute at the end if he was like, I still want to be your dad. Like that would have been really cute, but that would have definitely been like,
it's just being like an extra joke on top. Like, you know that he's not, but like he's still there. But oh
my gosh,
that's bad.
Wish. That'd be bad, but I'm not gonna lie, it would be pretty funny. Especially if it had like a wholesome like element to it, where he's like, I still love Donna, I still want to get to know you, like, yeah. But so good. So fucking good. Okay, so then get back to the mainland. Donna's friends arrive for the wedding, and then they do this little Donna and the Dynamos like reunion dance. Honestly, hate the little dance. Like, if you ever approached me like
I was gonna say, don't act like we don't do that, Madalyne.
Stop lying to the public. We do not.
We scream at each other like mad drunk women.
Like, just imagine being like the tired ass like travelers, weary, getting off this boat, just trying to go home. Like, 'cause they're at the fish market all day selling shit, and you've got these three like white ass ladies just going bananas, being loud as hell. I don't know. I would be very irritated. I was sitting comfortably on my couch watching this movie, and I was irritated. So I can't.
It'll be
imagine
us in like 40 years. That'll be us.
They're like, shut up, Karen.
In our culottes.
Yes. At Vista Del Mar.
Yes.
And they show up, and obviously they've been friends forever. And one of them's like married 3 times, and the other one's like been single her entire life, and she's like the famous author of this cookbook. And I'm like, oh, me. And then Sophie's friends arrive, and they're like, it's kind of cute because it's like a mirror of her mom. Like, she has the same, like, she has 2 friends. They're like similar, like, builds to like the Donna's friends. So it's just like, oh, it's like, that's kind of cute. But yeah, they just show up, and then you're just like, okay, cool. So like a wedding's happening, and then Honey Honey comes on, and fucking Sophie Snoopy's ass decides to go snooping through her mom's stuff and finds a diary talking about how Donna had a wonderful hot girl summer with 3 very attractive men who all followed her to Greece.
Which we find out in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, is incorrect. Like, the history that
the continuity errors are unbelievable in that movie.
Because as soon as like she started singing that, I was like, that's not what happened in the second movie. But you know, we'll get there when we get there.
Yes, we will.
Also, she's like really excited about reading about her mom's sex life.
I mean, I get it if she's like really excited, like, oh, like this dude could be my dad. But at the same time, I'd be like, okay, just write down the names, flip, write down the name, flip, write down the name, flip. Okay, no more dudes. Got it. Cool. Throw it in the fire. Like, I wouldn't.
Also, I feel like there could have been an element of math. Like, I don't know. It was like from late July to like late April, or
the first date was
like
my
late
birthday.
August. So like
July 17th.
At some point, she probably would have had her period, so you would know like which one wasn't. You know. But whatever.
So if that's the case, then
Sam was first in the diary.
The first in the diary is Sam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So odds are, if she slept with Sam first and got pregnant, that sleeping just with Sam, then Bill and Harry she would have like had sex with, but not gotten her period in between because she was pregnant. We just figured it out.
Well, okay, no, because there's other theories. Once we get to the second one, I have my own theory on who I think it is. But if we're basing it off of the diary and the order, then like that makes sense. But yeah, well, I'll give my theory later.
Okay. So truth be told, I didn't look into like the theory of who Sophie's dad could be because I don't care. But
okay, so for people listening who haven't seen Mamma Mia and are for some reason listening to this, they don't tell you who her dad is at the end. They kind of are just like, all 3 of us could be the dad. So they co-parent, and
I mean, they do it rather well, as demonstrated in Here We Go Again. But at the same time, like, she's a grown woman.
Yeah, she's 20 years old. There's no 20 years old lifting to be done.
They're all equally involved in her life, which is lovely.
She's an adult and is getting married, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, anymore. They're like, oh, we came in at the right time. Write a quick check for the wedding. I'm in. Like, let's do it.
Sure. I'm happy to be your dad.
That was definitely Bill's mentality at the end of the movie. He was like, I'll take a third of a child. He was like, I'll do that. I can take a third as long as I don't get a whole one. You're just like, okay, cool. Deadbeat. What?
But yeah, so we were talking about her reading the diary with her friends.
Yeah, so they're like
being like, my mom
sprinting.
fucked. And
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
like,
It
oh,
should just
that's
be called
amazing.
My Mom Fucks, the musical. Like, because like, isn't it crazy how this entire musical is based around like who Donna slept with 21 years ago? Wild. Anyway, like yeah, the whole musical is just dredging up Donna's sex life from her early 20s. Like, goddamn. Anyway, so then Donna's complaining about how like the hotel's like breaking down and like everything's shitty, and she's like worked so hard, and like she doesn't have a man to take care of her. She doesn't need a man to take care of her. And then they're like, yeah, but
It'd be nice.
it'd be nice. And they're like, so they're saying, money, money, money.
Which doesn't really come up again as like a major like storyline throughout the rest of the movie. It's kind of just they needed like the hotel falling apart and like her needing money. They kind of just like threw it in there so they could sing money, 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 and then like never brought it up again.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of like, I mean, it was more about the wedding when Harry tried to write her a check and she was like, no. But like, yeah, no one was like, girl, you need to like take a break and like let somebody else do this for you. Cause like it was hinted at that Sophie wanted to take over or like help her with the hotel and like, and you know, building it up and stuff like that. But yeah, again, it was never discussed. You were just kind of like, okay, so like the hotel's like kind of shitty. Oh, she's rugged. She's like a hardworking single mom. And she's got a daughter getting married very, very young. And she can't stop her daughter from getting married young because she made mistakes when she was young and she wants to protect her daughter. Like it's a whole thing. And then they try and throw in the fact that she's like kind of poor. And you're just like, what's happening?
Yeah. I feel like, can we just talk about like the different conflicts that are going on? Because there's like 10 of them.
By all means.
So there's the main one, you know, like who's Sophie's dad? Then I guess like Donna being poor.
Mm-hmm.
Sophie not telling Donna that she invited her 3 dads. Donna not wanting Sophie to find out that she had sex with all of those people.
3 whole men.
Yeah. Sophie having some sort of conflict with her fiance that was kind of unclear. It's like, why are we fighting at like 2 seconds before the wedding?
The 11th hour.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I guess Sky not wanting to get married and to go travel the world as an official couple.
Stop making Barb and Star references.
Yeah. Meryl Streep and Pierce Brosnan having sexual chemistry, but like she's mad at him because he left her.
Also, I love how like Bill is totally okay with just being like a quick fuck, because like that's definitely like he shows up, he's like, hey, and she's like, yeah, fuck both you guys. Pierce, Sam, come here. And then Harry's gay, so he's like, whatever. And Bill's like, cool. Like, no commitment. Hey. So
yeah, and then Bill and Rosie being a thing. Also,
I didn't like that.
What's her face and the like groomsmen?
Tanya's her name. And then and the guy at the bar, and she's singing Does Your Mother Know, which is a great song. It's one of my favorite ABBA songs.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
It's very convoluted. But if you think about like musicals, there are like at least 1 or 2 different like side stories. So I feel like this movie, like what it didn't do well for me was like they didn't really write it to be a film. They literally just took the book for the musical. They like changed a couple things, cut out a couple scenes, and they made it, and they filmed it. Like that was it. Like I don't think they really like adapted it well for the screen, because that's why it comes off corny, because like it's because like the locals are singing, they do these weird zoom ins, and like the locals are holding like fish, and they're like, ain't it sad, and they're like, whatever, and you're just like, what the fuck's happening?
Money,
and like,
money.
Yeah, it's like cute, but at the same time I'm like, it throws you out. It threw me out anyway. So.
I can definitely see how it works better as a stage musical because it's more of a concert than like a show. Like it's the story is more of like transition between songs in a concert, and you're there to listen to ABBA songs. In the movie, it's like you have to make up for that somehow. And I mean, it works obviously because people still love the movie and still watch it. It's like a fun thing to watch, like when you're drunk with your friends and like.
Oh yeah, I'll watch it sober. Like I love it.
So there's something they did something right, obviously, but like I said before, it is not a good film.
No, where is its Oscar? But yeah, so they're singing about like how she's poor, and there's like you said, all these conflicts, and then the men show up. And oh yeah, but before that, Sky rolls up and he's like already hinting that he doesn't want to get married. He's like, oh, like I wish we could just travel the world, blah blah blah. And then she's like, shut up, Sky, ha ha ha.
Like, why can't we get married and travel the world? Like
yeah. He's like as if like getting married is like a fucking anchor, like weighing you to where you got married. You have to live in that church for the rest of your life. Congratulations.
You cannot leave.
You picked a beautiful location. Yeah, so stupid. Sky sucks. They all suck. All the young people suck in this movie. But the adults, the older adults, I should say, fantastic. How old is Sky? He looks like he's 27. Let's just put that out there. He looks far too old to be dating her.
Probably. I'm not sure.
I mean, she looked 20, but yeah. So Sky's rolling up like, hi, I'm almost 30. I like you, freshly 20-year-old young lady. And she's like, ha ha ha, I've never been off this island before. He's like, excellent. Let me take that to my advantage. So yeah, not a big fan of Sky. Also, Dominic Cooper, I do not find him attractive.
Yeah, he
does play Daddy Stark in the Avengers, I'm pretty sure. So one of the Avenger movies, he's like Papa Stark. If I'm fact checking that right now.
I'm like, I don't know.
Dominic Cooper. He's had a very like illustrious film career.
I think he was in Preacher, which is like
he was in Preacher. Yeah, he was in Captain America as Papa Stark. Like,
that's his name, Papa Stark?
No, like Tony Stark's father. I can't think of his actual name.
I was like, I don't know. Sure.
Daddy Stark. Howard Stark. That's his name.
Papa Stark. Can you tell neither of us watched the Marvel movies?
Papa Stark. He was also in Band of Brothers and Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
And The Duchess. Sorry, he's had a very wide range of movies. So like, I'm not knocking him as an actor. I just don't think he's attractive in Mamma Mia. And also, again, another mediocre singer. Like, there are so many hot young British, if you want to keep them British, hot young British men that could have absolutely slayed Sky.
Also, I would have been okay if like he literally didn't have any lines or songs in the movie. He was so inconsequential, like, to the overall story. Like, if they cut out the song between them on the beach, like, just to show that she's like a sexual being with her partner and not just a child, like, whatever. That has nothing to do with like, but the overall story and all. But I did love when the groomsmen popped out of the ocean. Yeah.
I was like, how dare you cut out my favorite part?
And kidnapped him and just were like hopping along the dock with their flippers.
The choreography
like, if this doesn't happen, like when I get engaged, I don't want it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed. Saturdays are not for the boys if you don't dance like that on a dock.
Everybody gets flippers.
Everybody gets flippers and a snorkel, and you better work it.
But it was like a super sexy moment, and then they just come out of the water and start dancing like that. It's like,
I think they were like, if we don't
this
intervene
scene?
now, they will fuck on the beach. Like, let's go, boys, move out. And then it'd be weird if we're here. Oh my gosh. Good. Oh, sorry. So we got to rewind a little bit where we got sidetracked. The men arrive. Harry, Bill, and Sam show up together. Very cute because they go up on Bill's boat and they're already besties. And then they show up and Sophia's like, oh my gosh, like, yes, like my mom doesn't know you're here. Come stay in this shack. I would immediately be suspicious. Like they're you can tell they're suspicious, but I'd immediately be like, so what the fuck? And
like
then,
her daughter invited us.
Oh.
But not Donna, and Donna doesn't know we're here.
And then,
like, what
and
the
then
fuck?
you get to talking, and then naturally you get to talk. How do you know Donna? How do you know Donna? Oh, summer of 1981 or whatever. Like, I met her on the, like, here. No kidding. I met her summer 1981. When were you here? Oh, I was here in July. Oh, no way. I was here in August. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. And then they look at Sophie and they're like, oh. Yeah, rock, paper, scissors, who has to be Sophie's dad? So they show up very like stupidly not realizing what she's up to or like why they're there. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll keep a secret from your mom, the one that I know, the one that I'm more loyal to than you. I don't know. If like somebody was like, keep it a secret, I'd be like, okay, she's my friend or like my ex, whatever. Like, I'm more loyal to her than to you. So like, I'm gonna roll up and be like, hey, your daughter invited me. What the fuck's going on? And then she'd probably like slap the shit out of me and then like kill Sophie, but like, you know what I mean? So yeah, they promise to keep it a secret stupidly. And then Donna immediately finds out that they're there. And then she sings Mamma Mia, but the lyrics are changed. I'm not a fan of that. Which the reason I'm mad about the lyrics being changed is because most of the younger generation, and by younger generation, I mean younger than me, think that the actual lyrics to Mamma Mia are the lyrics that come from the movie because the movie came out when they were young or like they're babies, you know? So it makes me sad because I've been cheated by you since I don't know when. Those are the lyrics. Everybody thinks it's I've been cheated by you and I think you know when. Bullshit. Doesn't even work with the story. Like, I mean, it does. Like, I get it. But at the same time, she could have just been like, you fucked me over so many times, I don't even know when it started. And that's what they're saying in the actual song, Mamma Mia. You know what I mean? It was just stupid to change the lyrics.
Full T, I didn't know that the lyrics were different.
I noticed it right away. It was that song, and there was another song they changed the lyrics. I can't remember off the top of my head. But there was another song and they changed the lyrics, and I was like, But Mamma Mia is the worst offender because...
I mean, I know that Benny and Bjorn, that's their name. Like, they were like, you can't change any of the lyrics unless they gave explicit permission. So I guess they did for those instances. In which case, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I didn't even notice. And honestly, if younger people are watching Mamma Mia and they're being introduced to ABBA, like, I am happy about that.
I'm an ABBA purist, if you cannot tell. I have loved...
It's like you're a Cats purist.
Oh yes. I have loved ABBA, however you want to say it, very, very long. Like, ABBA Gold is like one of the first albums I remember like owning and listening to. So a very long time. Very long time. I'm a purist. But I agree. I mean, if they're watching Mamma Mia and they're enjoying it and they like ABBA music, like ABBA music's coming back, like as far as like TikTok and stuff, like
yeah, it's like there's like 10 or like 4 or 5 different like Mamma Mia songs from the movie that are like
slipping through
TikTok
my
trends.
fingers is like the main one trending right now, and then
or the like screw them if you can't they can't take a joke.
A bunch of like clips and songs.
Dancing Queen.
Dancing Queen. What's the song? If It Wasn't for the Nights. It's not in the musicals. first one or the second one. But it's an ABBA song. So like a lot of ABBA music is coming back because I think like it's a trend now to cut your hair like in the style of the 70s. That's what I'm seeing all over Instagram and TikTok. I will not be participating, but it's fun to watch. And everybody plays like either Fleetwood Mac or ABBA when they're cutting their hair. And I'm like, okay, cool. Cute.
My hair's too short. I can't. I'm not going to. Nope. I don't trust myself.
I already succumbed to the middle part, people. So just leave me alone. Anyway, we are going like, this is going to be like another like Twilight where it's like 4 hours of us talking. Okay. Anyway, we soldier on. So the guys are like, OMG, it's Donna. And then Donna's like, ew, gross. I can't believe I had sex with you guys 21 years ago and I have to face you again and realize that, you know, I don't know the father of my child. And I think I'm a little hoe because of it. And then they sing Chickatita, her friends, because she's upset. Which was like cute. Oh, they changed the lyrics to Chickatita, but it was like in a kind of like humorous way, so I dealt with it. So they sing Chickatita to her, which is like probably my number 1 or number 2 ABBA song. And then they sing Dancing Queen because they're trying to cheer her up. And that is just a fun scene. It's like all the gals having a great time. They jump in the water. Benny makes a cameo. He's playing the piano. He's like on a little boat. He's playing the piano. He's dressed like a little sailor. Very cute. So he makes a quick cameo playing the piano for Dancing Queen, which I love. And then after that, I forget like the rest of the movie. And then
pretty much you can just fast forward to like the end when they sang The Winner Takes It All, because that's like literally between Dancing Queen and Winner Takes It All. Like it's just nonsense. It's like
the only thing you really need to know.
There's like 5 songs during the like bachelorette party.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
Like none of it matters.
No.
And then the groomsmen descend from the walls above.
Like, at first when you see it with ropes, you're like, what are you doing? Yeah. What are the ropes for?
And they're wearing masks, and it's like, what is going on?
Very 2020.
But we do get Colin Firth doing a little dance during that, so it's okay. But yeah, so we can fast forward to
the only thing I'll say in between that happens that's like of importance to the end is all 3 men figure out that they might be her father, but separately. Like they don't connect the dots that like the other 2 guys might be her father as well. They're just like, oh shit, I might be your dad. Do you want me to walk you down the aisle? Like they're also supportive and cute.
And also she's like yes to all of them.
To all 3. And I'm like,
what are you doing?
Because like Harry's like wilding. He's like drunk or high or something. He's twisted. He's like,
he's having a great time.
Yeah, he's having a great time. He's like, I'm gonna walk you down the aisle. And she's like, oh shit, okay. And then Sam's like, we're doing this. And she's like, oh, all right. And then Bill's like very hesitant. And she like corners him. And she's like, you're my dad. And he's like, yeah.
I think she thinks that it's Bill.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one that she like went out of her way to like go talk to. The other 2 came to her and were like, I'm walking you down the aisle.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah. And it kind of makes sense because Donna's blonde, but she's also blonde. And so like having 2 blonde parents, probably genetics means you're more likely to be blonde yourself. So I get it. Anyway, so that's the only thing of like importance that happens between Dancing Queen and The Winner Takes It All.
Mm-hmm.
Other than the fact that like Donna realizes she's kind of still in love with Sam and like, but she's still not over the betrayal, and they sing SOS and Pierce almost dies because he can't sing and his demons are egging him on.
So they sing Winner Takes It All. Meryl kills it.
Which is like that if you had to give an Oscar to this movie, any sort of Oscar, it would go to Meryl Streep as always, and it would be for that scene.
Yeah.
Because Pierce Brosnan's potato ass is just sitting there. And occasionally he like puts his hand to his forehead like he's stressed out. He's just like, oh. But she's like belting it. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm so stressed. She is singing her lungs out. Like she is singing for her life. She's singing for her legacy. She's full committed to that.
This is why they hired Meryl Streep.
This is why they hired Meryl Streep, because she's giving us like an actual performance as an actress, but she's also a wonderful singer, and she's just, and then the background's beautiful. Like the dress is kind of ugly, but like it still looks great on her.
She's a mom at her daughter's wedding.
Yeah,
like they're never pretty dresses.
Very mother of the bride. You're right. But yeah, so she's like going crazy, just like I was like getting misty. Like
wait, did we skip? I guess I lied. Did we skip Slipping Through My Fingers?
No. Oh wait, yes we did.
Because it'd be weird if they like she sang that, walked up the thing, and then went back down.
Sorry. Okay. Let's rewind a little bit. Yes, Slipping Through My Fingers. So I guess there was like a whole little tiff between Donna and Sophie, because Sophie was like mad that like Donna never like told her about who her real dad was and like how much it sucked growing up not knowing, and like
that scene where she's like, can you imagine growing up without dad? Sucks. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what are these acting choices? You look like you're about to explode. Like also, more so than Pierce Brosnan when he's singing, huh?
I'm like, also, did it really suck? Like,
you grew up in Greece with your mom, and she's awesome. Like
I understand, like, a piece of you feel like a piece of your past is like incomplete, but like
she's so ungrateful.
You had a great life.
She's so ungrateful. Like she's just like, I have this wonderful life with a mom who's like pretty great,
but I'm obsessed with my daddy.
I just, screw you, mom, and all the work you did. Like,
yeah.
I need my 3 dads here.
Brat. I don't want one. I want 3 daddies. Mommy, I want a daddy.
Anyways, so that happens. It's a sweet song.
Yeah, that song is very touching. That's another song. I already said it is trending right now, but it's just apparently they improvised a lot of that scene. So like Amanda sitting on Meryl's lap, and Meryl, Donna is painting Sophie's toenails, and like how they're like engaging in that part of the song, like that's all improvised. Like Donna was just like, get on my lap. Meryl was like, get on my lap. And apparently like her, Meryl and Amanda Seyfried had like a wonderful connection, like filming the movie. So it was like very special to them, and it was very cute and wholesome. And I'm like, I don't think I'd sit on my mom's lap and have her paint my toenails on my wedding day, but I want like a similar.
Sophie's also a child, so.
Yeah, she's like 20, so it's like she just like her mom just stopped like carrying her around like 4 years ago, Anybody else? Your mom carried you when you were 16? No, just me. But like
puppies,
mommy, and I'm like taller than her. No, my mom is much taller than me. Like,
I'm much taller than my mom, so that would not work.
Oh Lord. But yeah, it was, what I liked about that scene was like it was very like mother-daughter, like just like burying the hatchet, and just like it's always been them, and it's very apparent in like that scene where it's like they know each other inside and out, and like it was very wholesome. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think, like I said, my mom will paint my toenails and I'll sit on her lap if at any point I get married the day of. But I would like it made me think like, oh, how much I would want a similar like situation like with my mom or like my friends or whoever, just like a very like calm, wholesome, like just thinking about the good times kind of moment before like you make a life altering decision.
She has to marry Sky.
I will say, last thing, Amanda Seyfried and Dominic Cooper dated for 3 years after they filmed Mamma Mia. So,
wow.
Yeah. So, okay. So to wrap it up real quick, if I can. So Sky and Sophie decide not to get married at the last possible second, because all the dads, all the men are like, wait a second, like, I'm your dad. No, I'm your dad. No, I'm your dad. And then Donna's like, I don't know which fucking one of you is my dad. And then they're like, oh shit. So Sophie's like, I don't care. I love all 3 of you, which is very wholesome. We find out Harry's gay, which we love. We love a strong, confident man who is confident in his relationship and his sexuality. Anyway, so then randomly Sam proposes to Donna and she's like, oh, you've only been back in my life 2 days, but sure, why the fuck not?
I was just yelling at you at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, I was just literally singing about how you ripped my heart out 21 years ago. But
it's like you fucked me up. I hate you. Like, leave me alone. He's like, oh, cool. You want to get married?
But how about this, babe? You want to get married? She's like,
but you still want me, right? You still want me?
Yeah, you won't leave me. You know I got that good. And she's like, no, but yeah, you do. Okay, so they get married.
I'm so lonely.
I'm really poor. So they get married spontaneously. They decide to have a cute little after party reception. And then Rosie just starts hitting on Bill like it's her last day.
Okay, Donna's married, so like he it's fine. It's open season.
Which like is kind of explained in the second movie, like why she's like gunning for Bill. But like, man, she was laying it on thick. I was like, no wonder he's running away, you crazy woman. Like, damn, slow up. Like, you're not about to die. Anyway, so she's like horny for Bill. He finally like relents, and I'm like, and then they're all dancing, and then the fountain explodes, the fountain of Aphrodite, allegedly.
Which was another plot point that was brought up and barely talked about, but you know.
It was like a fast fact of Mamma Mia. Aphrodite's fountain.
And then the ground explodes, and you're like, why? And then you have to think about it for a second. You're like, oh yeah, they mentioned it in passing at like the beginning of the movie.
Well, even Donna has to be like, it's Aphrodite. And you're like, oh yeah. So then it ends, and I love, my favorite part about these movies is like the credit scenes where they wear the sparkly like ABBA outfits, the jumpsuits and stuff, and they sing like their iconic songs. They did Dancing Queen and they did Waterloo.
You can just tell that like they are all inebriated and just having a great time doing, like, especially Meryl. Like at the end, she's like, "You want another one?"
I want another one, Meryl. I really do.
And then they made another one. So.
Yeah. And I just really love that like Meryl Streep adores ABBA and like adored the role. Like, because you're like, wow, like this is kind of a bad movie. How did they get Meryl Streep? But it's like, she was like, I'm doing this no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, I'll be a tree in the movie. Like, just
whether it turned out to be a good movie or not, they had a fantastic time making it. They were like going out every night, like drinking and doing karaoke just to get paid to do karaoke. Like, during the day. It's a perfect.
Yeah, a bunch of them in like in their interviews, they're like, I shouldn't be paid for this. Like, it was so much fun. And I'm like, I think they actually filmed it in Crete. Or not Crete. Croatia. They filmed it in Croatia. At least the second movie they did. I'm not sure about the first one. But the second film, they filmed it in Croatia. So yeah, that's Mamma Mia. And now we move on to Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
Which we saw together when it came out in theaters.
We did. It was a good time. I think it came out like the day after my birthday or something like that. We went to see it in the summer.
We went to see that the same trip that we went to see All American Rejects in the rain for 3 hours in a random field.
Rain or shine, no refunds. And it rained.
It rained and rained.
It really challenged that policy.
We had to strip down as soon as we got to the car and then went through the drive-thru at Wendy's twice naked.
In our underwear. It was a good time. So,
anyways, that's not part of the movie review.
It's a great story though. All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to give you the quick stats. So, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again is a 2018 musical comedy directed by Ole Parker and written by Ole Parker, Richard Curtis, and it was based off of the story of Mamma Mia, the musical. And it's starring a longer list this time. Lily James, Amanda Seyfried, Dominic Cooper, Dame Judy Walters, Christine Baranski, Hugh Skinner, Colin Firth, Josh Dillon, Stellan Skarsgård, Jeremy Irvine, Pierce Brosnan, Andy Garcia, and featuring Meryl Streep and Cher. And it's 5 years after the events of Mamma Mia. Sophie prepares for the grand reopening of the Hotel Belladonna as she learns more about her mother's past. So let's start with the big elephant in the room. Donna is dead.
I know we were shook. Like when we came in,
when there was rumors about it, we are like, that's not, no. And then it was like the first 2 minutes, they're like, Donna's dead. And I was like,
it's like, why? Why would you?
The reason why. I don't know why they like decided to kill her. But
how did she die?
We don't know how she died. We don't know, but
Sam
why?
Killed her?
Yeah, Sam pushed her off a cliff. So Meryl Streep didn't want to do a sequel. Like, she really wasn't into the idea of doing a sequel. And up until that point in her career, she had never done a sequel to a movie. So when they came at her, and also she was like 69 when they filmed the second one. So she's like, I love the first movie. I like adored it. She's like, I'm not running around on cliff tops, jumping and like doing flips and shit. She's like, I'm not doing that anymore. And you're like, okay, like I get it. So it wasn't because she didn't like the first Mamma Mia. Very much the opposite. She loved it. She just didn't want to do a sequel. So like when they're like, okay, but how about like a minimal role? And she was like, okay, like I see how like in this situation it would make sense. So this was the first sequel that Meryl Streep's been a part of in her film career. So fun fact. But what did you think? What did you think of Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again?
It's funny. I think I prefer Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. It's like, I like Mamma Mia for specific reasons, and I like the second one because it has an actual story. Mm-hmm. It's not a good story, no, but it has like a story that's like conducive to like film, right. The film medium. And it's just really well directed. The songs make a little bit more sense in the context of the story. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like they took the context of the first movie and like actually used it properly. It's interesting. It's fun. I like having the, flashback and the
They did present. A Godfather too. They did a prequel.
They did. Did we watch like the same like YouTube video about how like it's like the best sequel?
Well, I watched one where they're talking about like why, like how they came to like killing Donna. And they're like, they couldn't think of like a storyline that didn't include Donna because she's obviously like an integral part of the first film. And it was like Ole Parker's daughter Richard Curtis's daughter who was like, why don't you do like a Godfather where you do like the prequel and the sequel like together? And they're like, oh, it's pretty good. So obviously they have like the perfect prequel, which is like Donna flouncing around with some hot studs, and then the sequel, which is like really sad. It's like such a downer compared to like the really fun, like cute scenes of like young Donna running around Greece and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so basically, if I can sum up the plot of this one, it's basically like Sophie is trying to take over the hotel. Her mom's dead. Sam is still around, just living on the island. And they're trying to have like a grand reopening of the hotel. And she's stressed out because she's scared no one's going to show up. Sky's
like
not
Sky
there.
Are still having problems.
What?
They're still having problems because he's in New York and he's offered a job and he's like, I want to take this job. And she's like, okay, well, we just put a shit ton of time and money into the fucking hotel and you want to bail? Like, I get why they're mad at each other, but at the same time, I'm like,
Sky's the worst still.
Sky's the worst, and y'all need couples counseling for real.
I feel like there's like no communication there. It's just kind of like
he didn't communicate that he didn't want to get married effectively.
Yeah. Also, she becomes pregnant at some point and doesn't tell very many people, but then Harry finds out and tells many people.
I know, that was my favorite line. He's like, I told many people. And I'm like, oh, of course you would, Harry. I love you so much.
So and then everybody shows up for the grand, opening of the hotel and everything's great. So that's like and the present.
Cher shows up and she's like the grandmother. And okay, let's talk continuity errors. I got to get this out of the way. It fucking infuriates me. So first of all, the diary, right, from the first movie. In the diary, she sleeps with Sam, then Harry, then Bill. And then in the movie, Here We Go Again, she sleeps with Harry first, then Sam, then Bill. Because she meets Bill before she meets Sam, but she does not sleep with him
until after.
Yeah, the first time they meet. She only sleeps with him after Sam leaves. So theoretically, Harry could be her father for going by the timeline presented to us, and Here We Go Again. Olivia, I want to know, who do you think is Sophie's dad?
I think Bill, because she looks like Bill. And also, I don't know, it just makes sense because the woman, there's some like familial tie like to Bill and the woman whose like hotel it is. And like somehow
great aunt.
Mm-hmm. And she can tell that like she gave the hotel to Donna because she felt like a familial thing. And like, I don't know, it's like a spiritual connection because she could feel the family ties or something. So that's a very long-winded way of saying I think it's Bill.
I think it's Bill too. One, because she looks like Bill, like she's blonde and very Scandinavian looking. Oh, quick side note about Bill, the character. He was originally Australian in the musical. He's Australian, but he's Swedish, obviously, in the films, and people think that's a nod to the fact that ABBA is Swedish. So fun little switcheroo. Stellan Skarsgård was a great casting for the role.
It's very out of like the normal.
Yeah, like the realm of his typical film roles. But love him for it. Love that he came back. I love that like all of them came back except for Meryl. You know what I mean? I mean, she even still came back, just in a smaller capacity.
They were like, oh, I can come party in Croatia again? Like, absolutely.
Nothing's too crazy for Colin Firth. Anyway,
he'll just show up and have a good time. Like, that's all he's just like, sure, whatever.
That's exactly why I love him as an actor and a human being. Okay, so I really like Lily James in this role.
Wait, are we still talking about continuity errors?
Oh, sorry. Last continuity error. My bad. So, in the first movie, when Donna's upset that the men are on the island and she's crying and they're like, why are you her friends are like, why are you crying? And she's like, I just like never told Sophie about like how much of a slut I was back in the day, which first of all, like, let's be sex positive here, Donna. Like, you had a good time.
You had sex with 3 people. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Like, whoa, 3 people. Wow. And then they're like, oh, like you're talking like your mother, like Catholic guilt. Like she said she always threatened you, like if you know, she never wanted you to come back, like she wasn't going to support you, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, Mamma Mia, here we goes again.
Also, her mom was like implied to be dead in the first one because she said, I think there's someone up there who has it out for me. I think it's my mom.
Yes, that as well. And then second film, Here We Go Again, a helicopter shows up and motherfucking Cher gets off the helicopter.
I'm not complaining. I think it's hilarious.
I know, but you're just like watching, you're just like, she's not Catholic. You're just like, she don't pray. Mm-hmm. Not to any god we know about.
She's like a Vegas performer.
Exactly. She looks great. Like she's got the silver hair. Like she looks wonderful. And then we come to find that she's like been in love with, what was his like last name? It was like
something Cienfuego or something. It's like 10 fires.
1,000 fires or something like that. Mila Fuegos or something like that. Andy Garcia, who is lovely. I love Andy Garcia. And then like from across the room, they're like, ah, and they start singing Fernando, which is like one of the weaker ABBA songs in my opinion. It's just very odd. It's a weird song because it's about like the Mexican like Civil War, Revolutionary War of Independence, I think. It's a very weird, very, very strange song.
For a bunch of Swiss people to sing.
Right, yeah. You're just like, okay, I get it. You like history, but like what?
They're like, we did Waterloo. We need to do Fernando.
Yeah, Waterloo. I don't know. So, okay. So I guess since we kind of like booted the present day sequel story out of the way, we should talk more about the prequel, Lily James as Donna. I personally thought she did a good job. Mm-hmm. She apparently studied Mamma Mia, the movie, for hours and like memorized like all of Meryl's performances because she wanted to do like a believable Meryl or sorry, Donna from the first film, and I think she pulled it off.
I do too.
And I also think the casting for the younger group was amazing, especially her friends, like the ones that played Tanya and Rosie. They were like, it literally looked like you just like dialed back time, and then it was like, you know, young Christine Baranski and young Dame Judy Walters just living it up in Grease, you know?
Yeah. Fun fact, the girl who plays young Tanya played Heather Chandler in the Heathers musical.
Oh, very nice. Good for her. Getting some film work. I don't know. But also the men were very hunky. Other continuity error, last one. So in the first movie, when she's having flashbacks to like the dudes, they all have these whack ass like get-ups on, like from the 70s, like very 70s, like long hair, like handlebar mustaches, like tie-dye. And then in the here we go again, they're just like normal hunky dudes, and you're just like, this is crazy. This is some crazy shit. Where is Sam with a handlebar mustache and like a bandana?
Where's Harry with like his get up?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah, he's like made to be like some bad bitch rocker, like when they first met, and then like you meet him and he's just like, you know, very posh dude who wears a leather jacket, like, which I mean like was probably the truth. You know what I mean? Like that was probably what it was reality, but her I guess romantic.
She's remembering him to be like this super hunky like
headbanger. Yeah. Alas, we got Virgin Harry, and he sings Waterloo, and it was really cute. Benny from ABBA makes another cameo there. Bjorn made a cameo in the last film as one of the Greek gods in the credit scene. Mm-hmm. He was like the one that looked like Zeus. And then Bjorn makes another cameo in the very first Donna scene where she's singing When I Kissed the Teacher, which is a very weird song. He's like literally one of the professors or teachers or whatever in the back. Like you see him literally like a split second, blink and you missed him. Bjorn's just like, what the fuck ever, I got paid. Let me live my life.
Did they explain why she couldn't go home? In Here We Go Again? Because if she's not Catholic and she's Cher, like I don't understand.
I think she still had mommy issues. So she wanted to do it on her own. Like she didn't want to like have her mom rub it in her face.
It's just a weird choice to like.
I would be very like, if I knew I was pregnant, I would not be like, let me stay on this remote island where there's like, it's like a 4-hour trip to get to like any sort of like city with a reasonable sized hospital. You know what I mean?
Or it's like a whole strange decision. Like your friends have, you know, you can go be with like where they are. I don't know. I wouldn't do that. As much as I would love to live like on the island for a short period of time, I wouldn't want to be alone having my first child. Like
no,
thank you.
No. But what did you think of the prequel part? Like the story?
I thought it was fun. Basically she graduates from college and her friends, you know, do a little performance, and then she's like, I'm gonna go travel around because I can't go home. And so she hooks up with Harry, he sings Waterloo, and that's really cute. I thought that was fun. And then she gets a trip with Bill to the island. She meets up with Sam and they have their little romance, and then she finds out that he's, you know, engaged and has to leave, and he's like, yeah, sorry about that. And so
like, shut the fuck up, Sam, you like trashy piece of shit.
It's like, what did you expect to happen? Like, I don't understand. But
also, like, if you didn't love her, why did you have a photo of her in your possessions? You know what I mean? Like, if you were really running away from that wedding, like, I would not take any evidence that I was supposed to be getting married with me.
Yeah. So she's heartbroken, and then she goes and her friends are there and they sing they sing Mamma Mia, right?
Again. Yeah, she sings like it starts off like sad and slow. Well, okay, so the two of my favorite songs that like in the movie that they did were she does Name of the Game, which is good. Like it's her singing, she's like picking oranges, and that's right before she finds out he's engaged. And then they do Knowing Me, Knowing You, which is really good. Because it's really like she's really like, yeah, I should have figured this was gonna happen, you know. But I'm still like broken up about it. And he's like, yeah, I guess we're really done this time. And it's like, yeah, dumbass. So I just wanted to shout out to those two songs because they're also like just classic ABBA.
Yeah, I think the music in this movie was pretty good, and it made sense. Like it wasn't too much. I feel like the first one had too many songs, you know.
And they also pulled a few like more obscure ABBA songs. I feel like the first movie is like get the hits out, get Dancing Queen, get Mamma Mia, like get.
We know what these bitches are here for. Give them what they want.
Get the people going. Bring them back. They only had a couple like obscure ones. Like they had like Our Last Summer. Slipping Through My Fingers was not popular until, you know, the musical / the movie. But then they also did, sorry, let me check my notes. Boop, 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 boop. One of Us. That was Sophie and Sky. They did a trash job, but I do love that song. I also really like the prequel idea. Personally, I kind of wish they had almost leaned on it more. I mean, the majority of the movie was the prequel, but I feel like if they honestly had just been like change the title, like Mamma Mia, like whatever. Mamma Mia, not a mama yet, like and it was just a prequel, I feel like it would have been really good. But then I feel like people would have been disappointed that like the OG cast wasn't back, and like, you know, where's Meryl? Like everybody was asking about Meryl, like when they realized she was dead. But also like the very end, like when they have like the reunion of Sophie and Donna, like when she's bringing her baby to the same little chapel where she, you know, where Donna brought Sophie when she was a baby, and it's like heart breaking.
Yeah. It's very sweet.
Because it's My Love, My Life is the one they're singing. And it's a really like I get misty eyed just like listening to it, like cleaning my apartment, you know what I mean? Like ABBA comes on, it's like my love, my life, and I'm like ooh, like scrubbing the toilet, like bawling. I feel like this movie felt to me like it was less to do about like a mother-daughter relationship. So I feel like I like the movie more. The budget was bigger.
It was more like becoming a mother, not really like the relationship between a mom and a daughter. Because like honestly, Sophie could have been a boy and like it wouldn't have mattered for the sake of this movie. It's literally just like becoming a mom and what that means.
And like how she was like low-key shady, like, but this baby will know who its father is. I was like, bitch, like
I know.
You are like, so rude.
Like your mom's dead. Like chill.
Donna's ghost ass should come down and slap the shit out of you, not sing to you. But anyway, yeah. Sophie's mad disrespectful. And like, I get it. I don't know. Cher was like a bad mom. And Sophie was like nicer to Cher than she ever was to like her own mother.
I know.
I was like, I'm like, I get it. It's Cher, but like, come now.
Yeah, I don't know. I just enjoyed the second one more for the reasons I've already said, but also because it's just wild. Like, Cher, like, just Cher, like just that Cher alone is like, when that starts happening, you're like, what is happening in this movie? The musical numbers themselves feel more like choreographed and like purposeful. They're produced in a way that's not just like people jumping around and like chaotic dance moves, which is nice. It's shot digitally. The first one was shot on film. And usually like shooting on film gives a certain aesthetic, which is really nice and pleasing and kind of glowy. But I think the second one looks better because I think the first one was filmed in an era where like the saturation and color grading was just out of this world.
Twilight came out. It was 2008.
Yeah, it's like a really weird like saturation and the colors are just really blue and orange.
Yes.
And then this one, the second one feels more like a painting or kind of like a very just nice, tranquil.
It was like softer.
Yeah.
And like, I guess like the story of Donna just made me like want to go like live on a remote Greek island. And I was like, oh, and just like have a bunch of sex with dudes. The dream.
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm just gonna live in that moment for a moment.
We go from Mad Max and that wasteland to like just a beautiful Greek island with a bunch of sexy dudes and Colin Firth.
Oh yes.
Amazing.
Oh yes.
So do you think that you prefer the first one over the second one?
I think I prefer the second one.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
We are on the same page. I mean, it has a special place in my heart, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the story, like just like the explanation of like Mamma Mia, like how we got to the first movie, I like the production qualities a lot better. Even though Donna's dead, like you're like, damn, that's depressing. But like the moments that she's there is like Meryl Streep as Donna is there is very heartwarming, and like you still get that like sentimentality. You're very thrown off by the continuity errors. At least I am, because I'm a purist. But other than that, like I just think it was an all around like more solid movie. And yeah, I just want to go lie on a Greek island and have some dude row me around the bay, and I'm wearing like a bikini and he's taking pictures of me and I look fantastic in all of them. The ultimate fantasy.
Do you have a favorite song from both movies? And a least favorite song?
Ooh. Okay, least favorite song, SOS. Performance-wise, terrible trash. Like, absolutely.
Well, okay, so in the second one, he sings it, but it's kind of like a softer, like reprise version, and it's not that bad because it's like he's sad and he's kind of just like solemnly singing it, so he's not belting out.
And it's also like 12 seconds that he's singing it. It does not last long. So yeah, I would say the first movie, least favorite song, SOS. Of the first movie, my favorite song that they did, it was The Winner Takes It All. She did a fantastic job. There was no comparison performance-wise. Second movie, I'd have to say my least favorite song was when Sky and Sophie did One of Us. Because, like, it made sense, like, story-wise, like, why they sang that song when they did. They're just both not great singers. Yeah. Dominic especially. Like, just shut the fuck up, bro. I'm sure you're great, but, like, you were not meant for this role. I don't know why you got cast. And then my favorite from Here We Go Again. That's tough. I'll say The Name of the Game. Because I just like Lily James.
Mm-hmm.
Her singing voice is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Compared to other people in the movie. Yeah, so those are my favorite and least favorite. What about you?
I think I agree with you on the first one. Actually, I think my least favorite is the one where Tanya is like singing to the
Does your mother know?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's a waste of time.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
they built that arc just so she would sing that song to him. That's literally the only reason that bar guy was like hitting on her the whole time.
It was just
also she's a MILF. Like let's be real. But like story-wise, that's the only reason it happened.
So I think that's my least favorite. And then favorite is Winner Takes It All. And the second one, I think my least favorite. I probably agree the song between Sky and Sophie, because I just like don't remember it.
Fair.
Like it's just not memorable. But my favorite is Dancing Queen when they come in on the boat and like Colin Firth and Bill are doing the Titanic thing. I'm just like, this is cinematic perfection. I love this so much.
Where is its Oscar?
Yeah. So
the Academy is trash.
I think that's my favorite.
That is a really good scene. I do agree. Do you have any other thoughts on Mamma Mia or Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again?
I don't think so. I enjoyed watching both of them. You know, we've been shitting on both of them for like 2 hours now, but
we really went hard on Mamma Mia though. Like we've only been talking about Here We Go Again for like 30 minutes. We talked for like an hour about Mamma Mia.
There's a lot to say because it's like, it's kind of a phenomenon, you know? Like,
yeah.
Like I said, it's one of those movies that's bad, but fun.
Yeah.
And still enjoyable. You know, like we talk about Cats and that's just awful. Like all around awful. It's not even fun to watch. Whereas Mamma Mia, it's like you can tell the people making it are having a really great time and that makes it fun for you to watch. And
none of them have CGI buttholes.
Exactly. Well, not that we know of, at least.
I know.
There might be a butthole cut of Mamma Mia.
I know it's out there.
The truth is out there.
I love X-Files. I think they made an X-Files movie. We should review that.
I've only seen a few episodes of X-Files, so I don't know.
One of my favorite shows.
But yeah, I enjoyed both of these movies. I had a great time talking to you about them, and
I had a great time kind of steering the wheel a little bit, taking Mom's car for a spin.
Double feature. It's a great time.
I did not write down our socials, so you're gonna have to do that part.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't remember our own social media, guys. If you
enjoyed listening to us talk about Mamma Mia and Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, you can follow us on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. You can listen to whatever else we have out there. And if you want to follow us, to just follow us and be our friend and maybe DM us and tell us some suggestions, you can follow us on Instagram at Another Picture Show. And that's about it.
Yeah.
Thank you for hosting, Madalyne.
You're welcome. Thank you for giving me the reins.
I will quickly take the reins back because I'm a control freak and
me no do good job.
No, you did a great job. I'm just kidding. You did a great job.
I'm gonna be muzzled the next episode. All right.
I wrote out a script for you to say these exact lines.
No, let me take the muzzle off.
You don't speak until I tell you to read the lines. Anyways.
All right, gang. Until then, will I be wearing a muzzle? Will I not? You'll have to tune in next time to find out. But until then, bye-bye.
Bye.